Let's open these files one by one and modify them to achieve a product API endpoint. I'm just going to minimize this. The first file that I'm going to open is the migration file. Create products. I'm just going to add a few columns in there. Table, string. I'm just going to name this product name. Copy that. I'm going to make this product code, and this has a price. Let's make this integer. Next file that I'm going to modify is the models file. Let's add the 3 columns that we added over here as fillable. Protected, fillable, and fillable text in an array. So let's add these columns. Product name. Let's copy it and faster. So now we've added fillable. Is correct, isn't it? Yep. The next file that I'm going to modify is the factories, product factory. Now I want a few dummy products in there. So I'm going to set the product name to word and product price a number between 100 and 1000 and 10,000. I also want product code as a word. So I'm just going to copy this. Product code. That should do it. The next file that I want to modify is the seeder file. That's the database seeder. I'm going to comment out this user factory over here and just add my, because I don't want to create another user, I just want to create a few products. So factory, then create. That's the command. And the next thing I'm going to run, I'm going to do is to run the migration. PHP artisan migrate, and I'm also going to use the seed flag for this so that it creates around 10 products in our database. That's it. That has created. Let's go in the database and see what it has created. We've got a products table. Let's see the content of it, and we've got a few products in there with some random names in it. That will do it. I'm happy with that. The next thing we can do is to create an endpoint. So let's start with the API endpoint for products. I'm just going to, for the index control, function, I'm going to return all the products. Return product all. So that's going to return everything. So let me just close everything else. I'm keeping only product controller open. Let's open api.php as well. Roots api.php, and I'm going to set the root for this. So root get products, and that that uses the product controller. Let me also add the namespace for it. Slash slash. So when you use this endpoint slash products, it should go to this function and it should grab all the products and return it to you. The next utility that I'm going to use is the Postman. If you haven't set up Postman, then I recommend you to set up, which will allow us to test all our endpoints. So in this case, our endpoint is going to be Laravel 11 test. Let me create a request, add a request, test, and in Laravel APIs get a prefix added to it automatically. The prefix is API, and let me just say products. And now I have to also add some headers in it. So accept application JSON, and I need to also add content type application JSON. Let's save it, send it, and there you go. That returns all the products that are there. There should be around 10 products, so it returns 10 products. The next thing we're going to see is how to create a product. So let's go first to the product controller, and we're going to use the store method over here. We'll get rid of this create method for now. So the store method uses a store product request class. Now this store product request class is used for validation. So let's go and set some validation in here. So we want all the fields as required. So product name required string, product price required numeric, and product code we want to be same as product name. So that's our validation. So let's go and set the root. Let's copy this. So we're going to use product slash store as our root. Let's use a store function here. Next we go to Postman and create a new request in there. Add a request. This is going to be a post request instead of get. Let's copy this path here. API product store. Remember, all requests start with /API. Let's add two headers, application JSON, and we also need content type app content transfer. We need content type application JSON, and we need, let's rename this, save it. Now the next thing that we need is the data that we are going to send to the endpoint. Let's use JSON product name, product price, product codes, and let's just try to send this request. But first let's just die dump what we are getting over here, die dump dollar $request, and validated is the function where we get the validated data back. So let's just, without adding the product price, try to send this request to our endpoint. Oh, post method is not supported for this route. Oh, this has to be post. Let's try to send it again. We've got another error. This action is unauthorized. Let's go to the store product request and see over here there's an authorized method. I'm going to explain it to you later, but for now let's just bypass this and try to send that request again. Right, now we are getting a validation error. So it's saying the product price field is required. So let's add the product price. Let's say 100. And try to send this request again now. What have we got? So now we've got the validated data back into our controller. There's the place where we die dumped. So this is validated data. Without validation, we won't get this data. Laravel will throw an error if any of this data is missing. So let's write, so say data is equal to request validated and product, just say return product create. Create is a method method available on the model, and we're going to just say data. We're going to remove this die dump. In fact, we can just make it a one-liner over here and remove this. And let's also set a return type here of product. That way it's we know that it has to be a product type return. And let's rerun the query. I mean, rerun the endpoint. And now we get the product back. The next request that we are going to see is how to get a product from the database by ID. So let's go to the product controller again and say return. I'm just going to fetch the product and I'm going to explain it to you what's happening behind the scene. So where we got ID, and I'm going to say product ID. And first, just going to say first for now. And the return type, I'm going to say product. Next thing I'm going to add is a root over here. Get. I'm going to replace the ID with product in here. Get rid of the $sign. So that's root added. Now I'm going to the Postman client, adding a request over there. Let's copy that request because it's going to be a get request. Get product by ID, and it's going to be product, and let's pass in 5. We've got the headers in there, should be able to send this request, and there it is. We're getting back the product with ID 5. Next, we are going to see how to update a product. So let's go to the product controller again. And in this case, we're going to use the update method in here. So let's just get rid of this. Now update method uses update product request. So let's open that. Let's close the store product request. Let's turn this off for now, authorize true. And let's do the same thing that we have done for the store product request. Let's copy that. And let's add the route again. So product, and then product controller update. The next thing that we have to do is create a route here. So I'm just going to copy this one, duplicate it, update product, and this should be, instead of store, it should be product ID. So I'm going to say 5, and the body will be test 1 to 3. This can be anything, so I'm just going to post this. Let's see if we've set up put request. This has to be a put request. Save that. Let's try it. And we need to check what we are getting over here. So die dump request validated. Let's see if you're getting the validated data back into our method. Looks like we are getting it. So we are going to change product with ID 5 with this details. Go back here, and I'm going to return product update. Just going to do the other way of doing it, where ID, product ID, and then I'm going to say update request validated. Let's get rid of this. Let's run the request again. So we need to do another statement here. So I'm to do return product fresh. So this is going to give us back the updated product. Should hopefully work. There you go. So that works. That's given us the updated product. If I go back to get product by ID endpoint, run that again, that should have been updated to test 1 to 3. So we've got our update product endpoint working. The last method that we are going to implement is the delete method. So we are going to delete a product. So let's go to the product controller and implement the delete over here. So product where ID, product ID, and we're just going to use the delete method. We're going to return true for now. Let's set up the endpoint, delete product, and that's going to go to the destroy method. Let's go in the postman, add a request there. So this is going to be a delete product request. going to be a delete, and it's going to go to API product delete. Check product. So product 5. Let's delete the fifth product. I'm going to add the headers again. Application JSON. Save it. And we're getting a true back. So let's go in the database and see if it has deleted the product 5. And yeah, it has deleted. So that's all in the product controller. In the next session, we are going to see the categories controller, and we're going to link product and categories using has one and belongs to many relationship. Thank you for watching.